place. And there's the Void Spirit. So Moon should be on the Void. I think we're going to see a Snapfire off lane. And like you said, probably Jabs. No, Moon's on the Snapfire. So Masaros Void Spirit. And that'll be a Jabs Techies. All right.
Yeah, they're not going too wild. I would have loved to see a mid Techies. To be fair, I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. I guess mines are pretty nice. That takes me back. Wasn't Dota 1 wasn't the old play mid techies and then mine the ramps and no one would ever know for some reason? That was the old style in Dota 1 if I recall right. It's always the ramps for some reason. Still, really solid draft here. Vice flexing a bit. They do go with the Bob Tiny. So we'll see how much he can work in that mid lane up against Moon. The Snapfire, of course, does have that range advantage here. Scatterblast is going to be really nice to burst down to Tiny. But Vice has some pretty strong support duos this time. So you're talking about double Hex with a Soulbind, double Shackles, double Roar. So much control from Vice coming out from their Grimstroke combos. That could really set the pace. They've got this push lineup as well with a Beastmaster. Fnatic, and they've got the Lifestealer, which only really needs to worry about the Roar. They've got potentially a really fast Ags timing coming out for Moon, and that could play really nicely with her control, with the damage output they can have. We'll have to see how much Jabs can really bring out with this Techies pick, and whether or not it really pays off. I'm not sure why he's not taking it. Are they having a squabble inside? It's like, why'd you pick this? But he's the one drafting. Yeah, so he's going to have to argue with himself.
He just went to the bathroom for a second and came back after the draft, and there was a Techies there, and it's like, guys, is this for me? It's gonna be
waiting.
Go on, Jabs, take the Techies. Did he disconnect? No, Henry is the only one who DC'd and reconnected, so maybe we're paused? No, just nobody
right.
chose it. All right, fair enough. So nobody's playing the Techies. There you go.
Outstanding. That's a first. We'll see. Still, we'll see what Jabs actually does with it. Whether or not he's gonna have that impact we expect. The last time we've seen Techies, I want to say it was Bombi.
Look at this.
Was it even DS13?
Look at Jabs.
Yeah, Jabs didn't pick anything.
Where am I?
4v5. Let's go.
Can we play 4v5? Zex is like, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Oh, Jabs. What happened? He didn't want to play it. Oh, he was bugged. No timer, Jabs.
Oh, well, 4v5 it is. What's remaking? All right.
Remaking. All right.
Righto.
Hey. Maybe Jabs really didn't want to play that Techies, huh?
I don't blame him, John. It's he's stuck with it now. So wait for the next lobby to be up.
That was a interesting time. Very interesting. Still, gives us some more time to take in the Techies draft, enjoy the sights and the views, and it's gonna give us like a golf match.
While we're
You've
waiting.
never played golf, yeah?
No, I haven't. I have some. I grew up in a poor region of Sydney, John. We didn't get golf. I mean, the best we could do is we could like hit balls with like a cricket bat or something, and accidentally damage someone's car and just run for our lives.
That's the spirit.
Naked man just runs out of the shower and chases us. Not that this actually happened or anything, by the way. I'm just saying this is the kind of things I've seen around my area. It's a very dangerous place. While we're waiting here, what's the win rate on Tech? I mean, we're waiting for the lobby, so I may as well have a look. Where is Techies? In pub games, just because.
In pub games? Yeah, I think that's pretty atrocious right now.
50.6.
Oh god, it's not atrocious.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, level 1 Techies. I'm not a degenerate. I never play this hero, so I'm just proving to the chat that this, I'm not a Techies player. All right, so don't get upset with me.
Oh, I've actually played one game. That's disappointing.
What?
Yeah, I've played one Techies game. I've lost one game. I don't know what happened there. This was in 2015.
Were you sick at the time, John?
Oh god.
You going?
Yeah,
through
no,
some
I
stuff?
think I randomed it. Like,
oh, jeez.
We were all just figuring out what to do. I pressed a random button when it used to do something, and I got Techies.
Yikes!
It's a sad time. It's a sad time. the enemy team had a Husker. Jeez, way to try hard against the techies, bro.
Yeah, that's I'd do it too though, John. You pick that crap against me. I'm choosing the cheesiest, most guaranteed win hero possible. I'm not allowing the game to drag on for another 5 hours. You know, just hitting creeps over and over again and blowing up to mines. Anyway, back to our conversation about golf, John.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
you keep telling me, you know,
Yeah.
that you live in a poor region. Yet
Yeah.
you tell me all the time about golf. How do you play golf if
I
you're poor, John?
I don't play golf. I play video game golf, right?
Oh.
So I played when I was a kid. I was the best player on Tiger Woods 93, was it, or 98? Tiger Woods, the first one on the PS1, 96 or something really old school. I was really good in that. And then I played a lot of Pangya. If you're a cultured person, you know what Pangya is from 2006, 2005. Anime golf, Mike. Could you ask for anything better? I don't think
golf.
you could. Yeah. Used to be a thing. Used to be fun.
That's revolting, John. I mean, I thought golf was bad, and then you bring up anime golf. It's like, whoa. It gets worse. Jesus.
We're finally back with the techie. So Jabs reluctantly picked the techie. You saw him. He picked last. Very reluctantly taking this hero.
I told you. He
No
just came out of the
excuses now.
bathroom. he didn't know he was playing techies. Masseros drafted this. It was Masseros.
I love it. Well, let's see how it goes. Do have the game unfolding, and we're going to see how the lanes go. Should be a fun one. If not, well, mainly because it's Jab techies. Dual lane of techies plus Void Spirit, I have to tell you, is actually pretty exciting. You get the value point in the Aether Remnant. That is a blast-off setup.
You should have known.
So maybe we see Masaros and Jabs just go for this kind of play down the line. Maybe level 2, level 3 is when they start to play with that blast-off Remnant combination if they can land it. That would be pretty sick. They will have a bit of a hard time catching out Jug. Blade Fury is just going to ruin all that magic damage. So Palace does have a lot of breathing room here to just survive the quite possibly worst lane you could ask for. Well, not worst, but most annoying lane to deal with. And we're just going to have to see, again, if Jabs can carry through and really make this techies work as he leaves that top lane.
He does. He goes back down to the bot. He may be trying to go for a first blood attempt with this blast off. See if they can achieve one, as he's going to laugh the whole game, I'm sure, just to annoy me. A damn laugh.
Jeez.
Oh, goodness
Jabs, how
me.
many techies games he's played? He's level 7, so he's played enough to be a degenerate.
Okay. I mean, it only takes one game, John, so don't try to defend yourself now. 2 for 2 bounty rune trade. So, they will go for a 2 for 2. Fairly even start. Of course, the top lane, we are going to see Masseros. He'll be up against Zenki and the lovely Jug being played by Palos. Nice, pretty dominant kind of lane with this duo of Jug, Grimstroke. Can be very hard to deal with. I believe I hear a techies behind Masseros, and it was actually in front. Jabs, he TPs up towards the top lane after not achieving first blood. And there we have it. Blast off straight off the bat. Looking to clear out the wave early and get the level advantage and do a lot of damage to Palos. It's a level 1 hero, John. It makes sense that it gets rid of half your HP.
Yeah, that's exactly what you'd want when someone tosses themselves in front of you. The silence as well, it's a good touch. Palos not going to be enjoying this. Wave is going to shove slightly in, not too bad for him. Zenki and Palos, you talked about that combo to Grimstroke. They need to wait for level 2, level 3. That's when it's comfy. Inkswell up with a spin. You might be able to get something. Masaros, for his part, they're just working this lane. You know, they're just getting the farm up. I don't think Palos should be under too much pressure. At the same time, Jabs is going to keep doing this.
Absolutely, just another blast off. We'll have a look at the other lanes while we have a chance, because God knows there's going to be some mines being placed soon here. So mid lane, Bob and Moon going to be up against each other. I'd say Moon should have a decent advantage on the Snapfire up against the Tiny. Of course, you do have the potential to toss back and be a little bit annoying, but overall, Moon should have the advantage.
Yeah, it's not going to be a hard time for him. Bob's going to have to work extra hard to get some last hits here. You're already seeing him lag behind just a tad. at least in terms of EXP, which is not necessarily something you want as the Tiny. So Moon just going to be using the Scatter Blast to really bully out Bob. If he does get support rotations out, though, this could be devastating. You've got some really good supports on Vice side. The Shadow Shaman's something to watch out for at the 4-minute mark, so Moon's got to be very aware of the movement across lanes. Still, so far, Moon off to a much better start compared to Game 1. This should set the pace for her snap. We'll have to see if he can sustain that and if Bob gets an opening.
Oh, nice toss back, but it's not going to be underneath the tier 1 tower. Of course, bot lane, the one we haven't looked at quite yet, it's going to be DJ and Raven up against Samael and Enryu. Be an okay lane here for Vice. I mean, obviously DJ is going to be a little bit frustrating to play against on the Undying, but overall, once you get a few more levels up in the board, I suppose you can start to annoy Raven a little bit on this lifestealer. It's just a matter of how long Jabs intends to stay as mid lane. Bob does end up dying. Moon looks like he was getting jumped by the avalanche toss of Bob, but eventually just turns back around underneath the tier 1 tower, and Jabs denies himself up at the top lane as it looks like he was being spun upon.
Yeah, it's what you'd usually see from the Techie, so a bit of an early start for Fnatic. 1 kill up, Moon is the big one, and Palos,
Palos
might not be healthy.
Oh, Masaros, nice to simulate there, is going to be able to get the kill, and Palos just didn't want to run and maybe just assumed he was not going to be able to get away anyway. Does end up dying, and that'll mean a 2-0 so far for the side of Fnatic.
There's just some big kills coming out, some really important heroes. Masaros finding that kill means that her Void Spirit runs into that level 6 a lot faster. Does get some solo space as well while Jabs is working his way back top. You're slowing down Palos' timing. Jug does want to flash farm early on, so just these small wins really working out for Fnatic.
Masaros going to get stunned up by an Inkswell, and a spin is going to be out with the silence. Masaros has no way out of this. He will end up dying to Palos. So they do end up getting a nice return kill. However, down at the bot lane, now Enryu going to be in trouble, and Raven is able to take that kill. Samael, meanwhile, does kill off DJ. You'd argue that Raven is going to be much happier with his own trade on the Beastmaster.
Definitely a bigger win for the Lifestealer. Again, just getting yourself a good start here on Fnatic's end. They are still nicely ahead 3-2. 1k lead in net worth. Not a massive amount, mind you, but they are having it. And Jabs caught out of position.
He definitely is. Spin going to be out. Palos getting another kill with the spin on the Jug. Masaros unable to help this Techie's pick. We'll just have to watch Jabs go down in front of his eyes.
Yeah, it's one thing to watch out for. Once the silence comes out, it's dead.
Oh, Moon's going to get a nice kill mid lane. John all by himself. Bob trying to go for the TP. Moon waiting for the right time to go for the cookie. And Moon is really dominating this mid lane.
Definitely is. It's down to the fact that it's a melee hero up against a Snapfire. This is just a lane that Moon will absolutely bully out. He's got his max, well, level 3 Scatter Blast ready. He's got the Kisses ready as well if he wants to go around the map. Bob is going to have to try to make some space around the map once he hits his 6 spike. So just get an immediate pick off to try and catch up, although up top.
Oh, nice to simulate out. Masaros just making it in the nick of time. A very tough lane to go into here for Masaros as now the body blocks come out, but Enryu bot lane does also die. So both off-laners dying once again to the position 1s on either side of the map. And I'd still say this favors Raven, as he's finding way more CS than Palos. In fact, he might get Samael, and he does a double kill out for Raven off the back of the rotation there from Moon on the Snapfire. And things are looking very, very good for the start of this game for Fnatic.
Yeah, it definitely is. They're just getting the rotations out. They're getting some good stacks out as well with Jabs. He has been pretty low-key with the techies this game, but he has built up some good stacks in jungle. Should be nice to clear those out down the line and gives him a little bit of an injection. You can see Vice starting to work some supports mid. We see Zenki just kind of hanging around here. Bob still has to hit his level 6 though. That means his kit isn't as big, but he has even more supports. They might want to punish Moon here.
Absolutely. However, I see Jabs getting very low. And he is actually going onto Enryu and does get the first kill of the game for himself. So Enryu really suffering here, but Moon mid lane looks like he's been caught out. Bob is going to be there with his 2 supports, and they do end up killing off the Snapfire.
Yeah, that's the punishment they're looking for on Vice, giving Bob a little bit of breathing room here to play catch-up. Still lagging pretty hard behind. but every single kill can help your tiny snowball, which is important for Vice. A lot hangs on the timings Bob can hit. His blink timing can be really important for him to start making some plays, as you should expect Paulus to take the backseat once his Mask of Madness is up. He is having a good time up top. Number 3 in net worth, but Fnatic does have their cores up on top by a decent amount. 200 gold up on Moon, and a full nearly 800 gold on Raven above the highest net worth core in Vice. So they've got to find some ways to slow this down.
It's going to be targeted again up at this top lane. He does Astral Step away this time, but you can really see the priority here for Vice is slowing down Masaros. He might go for the courier, but he's in big trouble now. A cookie out from Moon, trying to save, but the spin is there from Palos, still dissimulate. Back into the backlines, Masaros! He got Zenkin, he will survive! The Omni comes through, but it's not going to be enough. Masaros, he walks away from this, and now Palos is in trouble. He's going to try and run. He will go down a Moon. How does he do it, John?
Just on the edge. Just really playing on the edge. Fnatic backing him up at the right time as well. Reading the map movements of Vice. And it's almost the same thing we saw in Game 1. Vice would try to get a rotation out. Fnatic knows exactly where they want to be.
Look at the mid lane, John Samael. He's so slow, he can't run away from the Mortis Kisses, and Jabs comes in with the blast off. He'll get the kill. Now Bob's in danger. DJ's going to drop the tombstone. He'll try to run, but the zombies are going to chase him down and slow him down. Moon still on the chase as well, has another scatter blast. More slow. DJ will just pop the flesh golem for this. Gives him a bit of a taunt. Moon's going to have the cookie, and that'll be enough. And they may just start setting up on this tier 1 mid tower now, as they do have a techies. And the mines work on objectives for some reason.
Yeah, why not? Really nice amount of damage done in that mid-tier 1 already. They're buying a lot of space out here as well. While all of this movement's forced out, Raven just gets the farm up freely. He is queuing up his armlet, just lacking that recipe now. So our lifestealer is set to really get big. Still number 1 net worth, Moon following closely behind. Palos starting to lag a bit on the jug. He's gonna need a lot of space in that jungle. He's gonna need his Mask of Madness up soon if he wants to buy that space out. You are taking huge hits on Enryu and Bob. This is just uncharacteristic for Bob especially, but that blink timing we were talking about for the Tiny is not gonna be there quickly enough. So our Tiny as the playmaker is gonna take a while to come online, and Vice really needs a hero up front. Like, you've got this Beastmaster who has Roar, but you don't really have the easiest way to gap close. They're going to need to either look for an objective fast or try to get a pick off with this Roar down bot.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give props to Moon on that Snapfire. I mean, you talked about how much the farm has struggled here for Bob, and it's really bad. Like, Moon is currently doubling up on his net worth at almost 10 minutes in, which is kind of insane. We'll see what Bob can do to catch up. You look at Jabs, John, he's got the mine started. So this is that point where it gets really scary to just walk around the map, as Jabs is going to just start mining up all the high grounds. And there are going to be some unfortunate victims, I'm sure, to these mines. Props to Fnatic as well. Even with the techies in their game, they are finding themselves further and further ahead, as Bob just can't catch a break in that mid lane. Just taking so much damage with one combo, and Moon does have the kisses up now. Bob, he's going to go in for an avalanche toss. There is going to be help now. Samael comes in with the wards being placed down, and Moon looks like he will die. Raven coming in. Meanwhile, Bob being chased by DJ will go down. Raven finds Samael, and now Zenki trying to run, but they have the damage out. DJ with a double kill on the Undying, and Raven will get started on that mid-tier 1 tower.
That was a lot of ults to throw out from Vice.
Oh, Masaros.
Wards as well. Ooh.
Oh, beautiful plays now from Masaros. He forces out the Omni Slash out of the jug, and, well, unfortunately for Palos, he doesn't quite get the kill, and now Masaros just going to TP out. And poor Enryu was around to try and catch him out with the Roar, but he could not get there in time.
They're just losing all across the map. They lose their mid-tier 1 in the end. You can't really contest the Lifestealer. Again, Rage just ruins what you want to do with your combination in Tiny. There's a smoke out as well. And Fnatic Moon, he's just ready to go. He's got travels. That's pretty much it. But he's just got such a huge level spike that you have to be worried.
Oh, Palos in trouble now. Has been silenced up for such a long time. The mine's there as well. Jabs will take the kill. On to the next. Samael trying to run. But look at this. It's raining fire right now. Samael, he doesn't know which way to go. He's going to die to DJ in the end. There are more rotations coming in, but you've only got an Undying to go for. Looks like they are just going to go for it. They'll just take what they can get. Bob, meanwhile, finds jabs in the back lines. DJ going to go for a TP. Play out is going to make it as well before the Ink Sword comes in. And so the only thing they get for their trouble is going to be a jabs kill. And while that was happening, they are losing that top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's not the favorable trade for Vice. You are still happy about finding a pickoff, but that was our first roar. And it doesn't really line up for any big kill. And even down mid, Raven just applying that pressure onto Samael by himself. You just can't stop him. The focus of Vice is just a bit too scattered here.
That it is. Bob can't really go for the kill onto Raven, of course. He's just going to have to leave him be. And he'll just start taking stacks away from Vice Esports. They're just taking all the stacks, John. I mean, you're already so behind in net worth. You need these stacks to try and catch up, but you just can't. They just take them all away.
This is really going to hurt them. And oh, Masteros?
Yeah, Bob's in trouble again. Masteros a great setup with that 8th Remnant into the Dissimulator. Moon will happily take the kill onto Zenki now. Zenki, look how slow he is right now, Johnny. He just can't walk away from this. They're just going to dive him underneath the tier 2 tower. 8k net worth lead for Fnatic, and this is just complete domination.
It's not as even as game 1. Much stronger start here for Fnatic. Vice struggling to find a spot in the map. They've got this Mask of Madness on Palos. He still needs to farm up. He's lost his stacks. He's being surrounded as well.
Oh, Masteros is on Palos again. Remnant not going to land. Palos going to go for a quick TP out with the spin and is going to make it. It's going to be very frustrating, though, for Palos. He's just having to run all across the map. And they're going to try for that bottom tier 1 now. But look at Chabs. He's doing techies things, John. Not many mines out yet, but you can successfully defend quite easily with just a couple mines around. Can be very, very hard to get through with these creeps, as Henry, you might just have to go for a roar onto Jabs to really get out of this situation. Palos going to dive him. They do get the Hex off, and now Jabs should just die. And they will be able to get him.
That's a solid pickup. Should allow them to finally take a tier 1 down bot. Going to be their first objective of the game, so Vice is going to get a nice golden injection there. Does cost them a lot of heroes coming in just to secure this, but they'll take what you can get.
Trying to go after Moon. Moon did not connect with the Scatter Blast there. Bob does have the Avalanche now, but he's a bit too far, so Bob will put a chicken sticker there.
Oh, Bobby.
I love that it took him like half a second to actually get the sticker down. He had to actually stop there for a second, just really just think about, where did I put that sticker? Oh, this is the one. Yeah, that's the one. Meanwhile, on the side, they are trying to close into the mid lane. However, Raven has found Bob.
Oh, Bob.
With Masteros, they just astral step their way in.
Yeah, it's got to measure his words there. Bitten in the bum because of that chicken sticker, and now Fnatic with that kill goes straight into the Roche. No wards here from Vice, so it should be a straightforward take for Fnatic, and Vice can't afford to give these objectives out. They've got a Beastmaster, but they haven't been able to get any Hawks out to spot this, so again, just going to be a very quick Roshan here for Fnatic. Sub 20 minutes in. Gonna be a lot harder to pierce through them with a second life. And Vice, all they can do right now is farm up. They've got 9k deficit. Their most farmed hero is Palos' Jug, which is still lagging severely behind even Masteros' offlane. It's just not the look you want.
Oh, Jabs actually ends up dying to Bob on the side. Doesn't allow them to get close to the Roshan, but bot lane looks like they are going to get started. Masteros just jumps in with a 3-man Resonant Pulse, and now the Raven has been roared up. Is it going to be enough? The Omni Slash flies through as well. Raven still alive, but they do get the Aegis now with the Ether Shock. Palos, meanwhile, chasing down Moon. He will have the Mortimer's Kiss. No, in fact, he won't, but he does have the Gobble Up play if he wants to try and commit. Masteros now being gripped up, but a nice Gobble Up is going to be there. Now, Enryu, the one to drop along with Samael. They'll go after Palos. Invest there onto Masteros. Palos trying to fight back, but he really just can't. Masteros will pick up that kill. Now Bob in the backside. Can he sneak up behind anyone? Looks like he's going to give it a shot. He's not going to run into a target he really can take out, but instead he does go after DJ. A great kill there for Bob. but he may have given his own life away for this, as he is going to be surrounded by Masaros and Raven, and that should mean that Bob is just set to die here. Tries to go for the tree toss on the courier, will not really be able to get it. Is still trying to run, gets a blink away, and Bob is going to get out. Moon gives him the tip. Positive
call
Moon.
from Bob. Yeah, he is tempting fate though. Bob is still hanging around here.
Calm down, Bob. That's not the right way, sir. He's going to blink away again. He's going to be all right.
No, there were some pings coming out towards those mine stacks as well. I think Jabs is getting a little bit antsy with getting some people walking into his mines. He wants to find those kill smite, but they're not happening yet. So
that's what you get for
we'll
playing
see
techies,
if it does
John.
come out.
That's what you get. Every time I've got a techies on my team, they always start pinging the mines, like bait them into the mines, bait them into the mines. Well, if you picked a normal hero, we wouldn't need to bait anyone. We could just win the team fight. Anyway, smoke up from Fnatic. They're going to loop around onto Bob, who just blinked into them. Aether Remnant going to lock him down. His team is somewhat nearby, but they need to hurry up. It looks like they've given up on Bob. They'll let him die on his lonesome as mid lane. They have made the jump now, and who is that?
Ooh.
It's going to be Jabs, but a nice cookie up from Moon. Save the day for Jabs. They can't get the kill off, and now Fnatic, they'll turn back around. They're going to go straight after Samael, and Samael will die onto Enryu now, who's very low. They'll try for Zenki. Zenki will TP, but Enryu will not be so lucky. And with that, Fnatic gobble up. DJ gonna find himself some nice creeps. Very nice. Moon will take the last
Moon
one.
takes it all. He took them all. Gobble up. That AoE damage, Mike. That's the big issue. It's, I believe, yeah, it's around 700 damage total with that burn. So that is definitely gonna get an adjustment down the line. Still, Vice, they're trying. They're not finding the exchanges they want. The blink from Bob not quite enough to really set up for themselves. And Fnatic, I mean, they're just playing on the edge. The cookie play is coming out from Moon. He is definitely awake today. Maybe he's gulped down a whole can of Monster for himself. But he is really up there, getting his team on point. And Vice just, they need to find something to do here. They're really just starting to pile on the power. The Jug's not the hardest core.
Avalanche toss. Masaros, he's a big target, but the Soul Rip Glimmer Cape gonna save Masaros' life. And now they can turn around with the Tombstone and the gobble up out from Moon, landing perfectly onto Bob and Zenki, and they might just find both of them. The Mortimer's Kisses, they won't really land on Samael, but that doesn't matter. They are very, very happy with what they are getting, as now the Hex comes in. Palos, he does have the Omni. Masaros going to jump into the back lines. There goes Raven, a massive pick off there for Vice Esports. Maybe they can capitalize on more. They sure want to. Jabs, he's been placing mines, but it seems though Vice, they are very well aware of them, and they will not walk into them. But they won't find anyone else either. Or maybe they will. They got eyes on Moon now. But he will be able to blink away. Samael. Not going to go for the Hex or Shackles onto Moon. So Vice, they do get a pretty big pick there on Raven. That was Raven's first death of the game. And that'll help Palos out quite a bit, but they are still falling very behind in terms of net worth.
They've got some major spikes here in Vice's side, though. Necronomicon trees are out on Enryu, so they've got some way of detecting these mines with a true sight that the creep does have, although.
Oh yes, Samael. Not having a good time here, not with this gobble up out from Moon, although Shackle turn around. Glimmer Cape, where's the detection, boys? It's not there. They don't have detection. This Glimmer Cape is doing so much work out from DJ, and now the cookie in. Bob is going to avoid it. Moon, to move his way in, but won't have anything to lock Bob down, so toss back from Bob is going to be out with the Shackles again. Moon needs some help. Suicide is in from DJ. Now the Infest, but a great soul bind out from Zenki with the double silence, trying to hold them down. Jabs does die. Raven pops out now. That'll mean Moon's gone. Now Vice going for more. They will find the Life Stealer, and that'll be the second time that they do manage to kill off this Life Stealer being played by Raven. Mind you, in the meantime, Masaros did end up getting an Aghanim Scepter and is looking to try and jump in, it looks like. I don't think he can do this by himself, but he might give it a shot.
Yeah, he's looking. Vice, though, they get a huge amount of kills there. A lot of gold swinging back their way. Not enough to overcome this deficit, but you can see Palos now even with a big chorus of Fnatic, kind of tying himself up in that jug. So you've got to be careful here, Fnatic. You did have a huge lead, but that just meant there was nowhere else to go but down. And it is starting to dip down a bit. Vice, if they can find a couple more of those kills in that way, if they can isolate these heroes, force the staggered response, and then they can actually bounce back in. They've been really disciplined to stay outside of mines, although that might slip up now if they start to feel confident. Like now.
Oh, there you go. Bob's gone. He's, I'm sure Jabs is very happy. It took a very long time for that to happen. It's just not right, is it? It's just not right.
Yeah, you come out, you feel good about isolating these heroes. You decide to walk up into your jungle, and then you get war crimed. You just get war crimes on you. That's it. That's not the best feeling. Does take out a huge chunk of that swing as well from Vice. So they go back to 10k behind. They still have some good progress coming out. They've got to play around their soul bind combo and the toss back. Like, Bob has to be on point with finding these targets. Again, if he forces Fnatic to go in one by one, it hasn't been looking too good in the last two fights, so they have been a bit careless, and that's something Vice can definitely abuse.
I do agree. Bot lane, they're waiting around right now, Vice, hoping somebody comes in to force out this bottom lane, but it looks like they are somewhat aware of the presence of Samael and Zenki. Enryu kind of doing a similar thing in the mid lane, but nobody from Fnatic is showing up or giving the opening. Moon will go ahead now, but of course this is underneath his tier 2 tower, and while that's happening, the top lane is being forced in by Raven and Jabs with his mines. They will get that tier 2 going down now, and that evens out the objectives across the map. Vice, looks like they are kind of playing a little bit of the avoid game right now, trying to buy more time for Palos, who has overtaken in farm. So top of the net worth board is the jug.
Investment is paying off. Like, he is clearing out camps a bit faster with this Mask of Madness. They are playing it right, Vice, right? Like, they're avoiding the top jungle. They know there are mines there. They're forcing Fnatic to be the ones to respond, and they do manage to get them to go down mid instead.
Mid lane. Bob, Yule's up, is there. Masaros jumping straight in onto Zenki, and poor old Zenki, he surely doesn't survive this. He got the silence off in time, but it's about to wear off, and Masaros has the resonant pulse there. Very nice. Jabs pushing out the top lane as well, getting it prepared for a high ground push if it ever comes. And Masaros, he's having a look for more now. Oh, this could be devastating. He sees both of them TPing in. Samael going to blink forward for a Shackles, but look who's behind him. Masaros going to jump in. Omni Slash there, but it's only onto DJ. They will find the Undying, but they are going to lose the Shaman in the process, and now Enryu going to be in danger. The Aether Remnant won't lock him down. They turn around onto Palos instead, but Palos is going to be a little bit too hard to kill right now. In fact, Palos has the MKB up, however, Raven going to be gobbled back up, the Aether Remnant out again, holding him down. He will go, Zenki will die as well, the Soulbind is there, Bob's trying to come in for a double toss, but he will not be able to get it, and now Masaros back in after them. The Mortimer's Kisses are out, they've got this Tiny under control, and Bob is going to die. And that'll be your mid-tier 2 tower also dying. As Fnatic, they might even go high ground for a bit here. There aren't any buybacks available for Vice.
No, and even if they did, they don't have Omni Slash on their Jug, so their big hitters down. Roar down for half a minute as well. That should at least be a tier 3, possibly at least one set of racks. Looks like Fnatic are going to take that risk.
I mean, I don't blame them. Shackles, not there, just a Hex. Raven, going to heal up very, very quick. They don't have the Roar for another 5 seconds, so it is a very hard kill to hope for onto Raven right now, especially while he has that Infest available. Jabs put some mines just down the staircase in case they're required, but they don't look like they will be. In fact, he just pops them. Just because. Vice,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
It's a bit lower. They do smoke up, but Jabs has to be careful with his mines because of those Necronomicon trees. He's got to blow them up if he knows they're spotted still. Vice, if they find the angle, might be able to punish again. Just need to get that jump in.
It's a tough fight, John. 20k behind. They're going to jump in with Bob. Raw is going to be there. They're focusing down the Void Spirit once again. But Bob, Avalanche not going to be that great. Now the first golem out. They want to take the team fight. Palos, he's got Omni Slash in 10 seconds, but he might not have the time for it. Gobble Up is there. Jabs just jumping in with the Suicide. A lot of damage out. Palos going to melt. And now they found Samael as well. Masaros going to get Avalanche tossed by Bob. Bob just going to blink his way out of there. Gobble Up is going to be the wrong way. They can't exactly go to the high ground for that bot lane yet. There is still a tier 2 tower. They could try for the top tier 3 instead. Looks like they're happy to just take their time though. I think they're feeling very comfortable with this net worth lead. And you've got this this scaling Snapfire who just picked up a Daedalus. Still needs 5 levels. Still needs 5 levels for that, you know, that really balanced Snapfire experience.
I'd say this is already pretty darn good at 20 though. You've got the Shredder using your attack damage, so you've got a lot that can fly out on the Snap now. They are going to go for a steady Roche. Vice, again, not in any position to contest. They do at least have the Hawk spotting this one out, so they know it's happening. Whether or not they can make it out in time is a different question, as they have to pass through these mines, and the Roche is not going to last that long anyway.
It is not. They're trying to make their way over. Jabs is threatening with a bunch of mines here, and look at Senki, he's just trying to avoid it. Avoid the inevitable, that is, as mid lane looks like they have made the jump. Enryu gonna go down. Masteros stepping forward, wanting to go for more. Gobble Up on point onto Jabs, but Palos is going to come in. Looks like Palos might be able to get the kill onto Jabs. He still has the blast off. Wolf Force Staff away into Raven. Bob, Avalanche toss, does kill off DJ, and now the Omni comes through onto Moon. They get the Snapfire. DJ's falling low. Raven, he's going to be alright, but Palos, he wants to go for a chase now. Masteros, meanwhile, reinitiating back into the backlines onto Samael. They'll get the Shaman back onto Palos. Avalanche toss is great, though, with the Ink Swap bomb. He's going to set up for 2 of them. Still, they'll only get 1 for now. Back to DJ, however. Looks like they'll find the Undying as he TPs up a Masaros. He'll get Zenki. They hex him up now. They should have the control this time around, and it looks like they will. Vice Esports clearing them out. That's a very nice team fight for this Dire side, and that'll surely help with the net worth a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to go straight into the Roche. The Minds miss as well from Jab. Pops him as the spin comes in. So this is going to be a big bounce back for Vice. Aegis plus Cheese potentially going their way. No buybacks here on Fnatic, and this is a nice swing. Not enough to wipe that deficit, but again, we've seen Palos, #1 now in net worth, and Fnatic again streaming in 1 by 1 fall apart. They need to play as a team. They can't allow Vice to rip through their lines, and every time that happens, they will lose out, as Vice do have a lot of burst potential on hand, and Fnatic, they are feeling confident, but they don't have much defensive tools on hand to save themselves beyond the Glimmer Capes. So you really do have to respect just how well Bob is reaching into the back and forcing these kinds of responses out from Fnatic.
That they are. Into the tier 3 bot tower, Palos goes. He wants to even out the objectives a little bit. Try to make a nice comeback going their way. Moon gonna jump in. That's a lot of damage flying out as Bob. He tried to get a toss off onto Moon, but he couldn't quite get there. Still going to be very hard to go high ground because you don't know where the mines are. And even if there aren't any, it's just the fear of them being there is what's really scary. So they'll go into the mid tier 2s instead. Backdoor protection about to wear off as the creeps do come in. Bob trying to go in with an avalanche and a toss back onto DJ. They don't roar him up though. Masaros meanwhile jumping back onto Samael, gets rid of the Shaman, and Zenki's gone as well. Now they have free reign over the rest of Vice Esports. Zenryu dropping so darn quick. Palos will TP out, but this is looking really bad. Vice, they're going to lose everything else as Masaros. He finds the Tiny once again. Bob's going to try and run. I don't think he gets out of this one. He's going to try. He has the cheese, but he will not pop it. He'll just accept the fact that he's dead, and Raven will be able to get himself a triple kill as now they look to go high ground once again.
Yeah, that's really down to the fact that they made way too many commitments down to DJ. Just throwing those spells out allowed Fnatic to find an opening where the control was going to be lacking from Vice. So with that kind of mistake, high ground opens up. Apollos does have the Ags. But it's him alone for a few seconds here. Not the safest spot for a Jug. He needs some backup.
That you do. Masteros jumping in. Oh, he got the silence off on Palos. Can they lock him down enough? He is really down low. He has the Aegis anyway. Masteros going to get Avalanche tossed up. Astral Step is there, so he can get himself out. He needs a bit of a reset. Bob, meanwhile, looking to capitalize, waiting for that blink to be off cooldown. He's going to try and avoid the Aether Remnant, but gets high ground on with the 4-star. Gobble Up is there. They've caught Palos. The Jug is going to be okay for now as he goes for a swift slash onto Jabs. He'll be okay. Raven does take down Enryu. And now Palos looks like he doesn't really have a target to go for, so he's going to back off. He still has the Omni. He might just turn around now. I believe that's a swift slash coming out. Masteros jumping back in. Meanwhile, Moon did kill off Samael. Palos. Cookie. Not going to land. Open wounds will be there. He still has that big Omni. He has a swift slash again as well. So he's going to pop the Lincolns on Masteros. Oh, the mines though, a lot of damage coming out. Palos dropping very, very low. The Aether Remnant not going to lock him down. The Gobble Up flying in, but Raven is able to secure the killers now. Bob going to be in danger. Masteros again looking for those back lines. Palos just going to try and spin his way out of this one. He's still in trouble though. The Aether Remnant going to lock him down, but they don't have enough lockdown. Swift Slash is out. The Yules is there. Can they at least kill this Void Spirit? The toss is there. It looks like they finally can. And now Palos will go in with the big Omni Slash onto Moon. Does get the Snapfire onto Raven. But the Infest on the Necro Creep is going to allow him to get out. Or maybe not. Avalanche. And Toss is going to come out. But Raven just kills Bob on the way out of the Infest. Turning back around now onto Enryu. Gets the Abyssal Blade. Moon with the buyback. Zenki's going to go down. Palos, he's been bashed up. The Gobble Up's there. The Swift Slash is not going to last long enough. He'll go for a run. But Samael now coming back in with the Soulbind and the double shackles. Palos, he might get a cleanup here. He does get Raven back onto the Snapfire. He will also get Moon.
Oh my god. That was such a back and forth fight. Fnatic draws it out a bit too long. Vice again finding that punishment out, getting the stream in one by one. This is where the Techie's contribution sort of falls flat. Jabs needs to get either a big silence or get his mines in a usable spot. So far though, they haven't been able to start spotting those mines out, so they're not getting too much value here. As you can see, Samael and Palos have cleared out that one camp mine spot, so you're running out of spots where Jabs has invested his time to. He will need the Ags. That's going to be the next step for Tech. He's possibly waiting for his level 20 and 25 talents as well to be up. And that's when you can really be comfy with the Tech he's going on now. It's still Vice. And they find some good kills. They still are 17k behind. It doesn't feel like it's starting to matter as much, though. Palos is becoming a bit of a beast. They are getting so much value from the Necronomicons here from Enryu. The double Shackle, double Hex, double Roars are giving way too much control out. And Fnatic needs to win these fights a lot faster before the control comes in.
Oh, Shackles. Rather, Hex is out with the Swift Flash out from Palos and the Roar coming in. They got Masteros. Oh, Vice Esports. They may be making a pretty big comeback here. Palos gonna get the tier 3 tower onto the Millie Barracks. Not gonna take him very long. Fnatic, they may have gotten a bit cocky with this Techie's pickup, John. Jabs, they got the Aghanim Scepter now. It's very late, but they've got it. Mine's down. Palos.
Ooh.
4-staff and Mind Play is out from Jabs. I think I spoke too soon, John. Maybe they weren't being too cocky.
Oh my god. They placed a minefield sign on a different side of the map as well, so no one would have expected a thing. They would not expect it there, and it just pays off big. Now Vice, I mean, they found a good set of objectives. All that really does is even out the map. So we're looking at probably the same map layout here. Tier 2 on the bot for Vice, Tier 2 at the top for Fnatic. Mid completely gone, but that's it. Fnatic now needs to clean up their act. Adjust their initiation. Play tighter together as a team. Coordinate your fights a bit better. It has been falling a bit flat. Vice has been finding openings. Also, level 25 and Moon has to come in. Just get that multi-shot and the little shredder. You're probably going to delete a couple of heroes on your way. And that just immediately gives you the numbers advantage. So have that done. Maybe finishing up this Hex on Masters would help as well with control.
Oh, Bob.
But oh,
Oh, Bob, he's right underneath an observer ward. He didn't realize it. Been used up, but he's gone. Oh, poor old Bob is not having a good time at all this game, John. 15 deaths on the Tiny. It's a rough game for him.
it really is. It's been a slower start. His laning was already a tough time. They are pushing really well, and this is where the Shadow Shaman and Beastmaster kick in. Wards down, creep army up. They can take these objectives, and the tier 3 faults, they can get some really good damage onto those racks as well.
And Master Rossi is there to defend, and DJ is also going to come in just in case he needs the help. They do force out a glyph, and that is going to be a little bit of a win here for Vice. Maybe now they could go up towards the top lane and see if they can catch anyone out. Jabs is under vision as we speak, but there's mines everywhere. Gobble up is there. Raven, though, he's been hexed up straight away. Moon's still jumping in. Now the Swift Slash is there. In fact, that's an Omni Slash coming out. Moon's dropping very low, and so is Raven. Swift Slash is also out, but the Infest play. Moon not going to make it. Raven, can he get himself out of there? He's going to try. Samael gets the Hex off. Dissimulate out. Masaros trying to slow them down. So he will step away. Palos looking for the outpost, but Raven looking to go back in with that Abyssal Blade. Maybe he can, but the Swift Slash out again onto Raven. Palos won't have enough damage, and now DJ going to show up, but another great Hex out from Samael. Palos gets rid of the Tombstone. Bob has respawned, looking to initiate with his team. Aether Remnant going to be taken by Palos. Toss in onto DJ. Samael, he's looking for a Hex up again, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get it. Meanwhile, Palos did buy an Eye of Skadi on his way out. So you do have that up now. And there is also a Roshan. And they are aware of it on Vice Esports. It may be time to go.
And it's going to be a very scary spot for Fnatic. No buyback and Moon. They're going to have to try to fight this Roche without the kisses, without the gobble of place. It's going to be a bit of a tall order. I have to say, the big key for Vice now is this BKB on Samael. He's getting full duration shackles up with his talents. It's just ridiculous how long he holds people down, and they need to be aware of that, as they can't disrupt that
Masaros jumps in, but Samael has to pick up the Aegis. Whew, very close call there. Masaros still looking to run away. I suppose in some way you did just deny the Aegis away because you've got it on a Shaman now. So even though he didn't steal it, he does force the Shaman to take it.
That's honestly, I don't think that's too bad for Vice. Like, the BKB on Samael's been enabling them anyway. Now he can kind of be up front. He doesn't need to worry about his positioning as much to get the control out for his team. I'd say this is actually a net boon for Vice, as they can really start to be a little bit more relaxed about their Shadow Shaman.
Oh, they've got that 25 on Moon now as well. It's a lot of damage being pumped out. Bob, got to be very careful, but a nice Hex out from Samael. They're going to go in now, Bob. But Raven and Masaros straight on that Shaman. They want him dead. He does have the Aegis. Cheese going to be 8 by Bob. He'll survive as well. Now the Omni Slash. Frames going everywhere. Raven, he's going to be the first one to die. Enryu goes down as well. But how do you deal with Palos? They're going to try. Palos going to spin away for now. Samael, meanwhile, surviving. However, Jab's also going to die with Samael. Masaros, where are you going? Swift Slash is there. He'll get the Yules off. DJ trying to help out. Moon's there as well. There's your multi-shot with the little Shredder doing so much damage to the Astral Step through too. Palos still alive. Has another cheese. The blast off is there onto Bob. Jabs is getting very low. Palos eats the cheese. The Swift Slash will kill off Jabs. Moon trying to get away from this jug. He's lost his mind. Masaros also trying to just move as DJ goes into the ghost form. The cookie gonna cancel off a TP. Palos trying to get out. He will not be able to. They wipe him out. And it looked like a good start for the side of Vice Esports. They did get Raven up first, but it did not prove to be enough.
That was very costly for Vice. They tried their best. I guess in that situation, you can definitely point to the Aegis on the wrong hero, kind of costing them, although it did buy them time, as they had to focus very hard on the Shaman twice over. He did manage to get his spells out anyway. did just fall flat. Losing Enryu fast was the bigger blow to Vice. Like, they could not really get off as much value as they could have. I don't think the Necronomicons were launched. The Roar didn't seem to be as impactful as well. And Fnatic do find that punishment. They've got that huge spike here with Moon. He just hits way too hard with his build-up. It's that point when you can see the balance in picking up that Snapfire core, and Moon is just going to be very happy. An awkward spot as both teams need to wait for respawns. Fnatic still holds the net worth lead. You can see, though, Palace is still comfortably above everyone else, about 4k up, but they haven't really been able to transition any of these wins into an objective take. So they've managed to buy time here in Fnatic. Hex is up on Masaros, additional control coming through, and Vice need to... I mean, they're sort of finding their initiation. They need to really get the double shackles off. I think they've been in such a rush to initiate that they don't get that maximum control. They need them in every single fight.
Oh boy. Masaros got a timeless relic there, John. So everything's just got a longer duration now. However, you've got a timeless relic now in Samael as well, so he's got a hell of a lot of control to boot. Could be very dangerous times. Vice, they're going to go for a smoke again. Down to the bot lane. Jab's getting ready with the mines. Palos going to show up with Samael. He's right on the mines though, but Jab's going to blow them up. Samael got the BKB off in time. Jab's still in trouble. He will die to Palos, but they've lost Bob. That's a dieback on Bob. The wards have been dropped on the tier 4 towers. Meanwhile, Jab's going to die. That'll be the first life. They'll get rid of the tombstones. Moon going to show up with a cookie now. They want to get DJ out. Moon just shredding apart Senki. He'll have to buy back immediately. Now Raven going in with Masaros. He got the Hex off. It's such a long duration. The Jug cannot survive it. Uh-oh. 3 heroes down without buyback on Vice Esports. This will be the opportunity Fnatic's been waiting for to try to go back high ground.
Yeah, that is such a big win. They only find Jabs for their trouble. They tried to go for the juggler with those double serpent wards on tier 4s. Doesn't pay off. Now they're going to have to play the perfect defense game, and I don't see how a Shadow Shaman and a Grimstroke really the Divine comes out for Moon. He's had enough.
And why the hell not? Raven going to find Zenki in the base. That's a dieback on the Grimstroke. And that might have just spelt the end of the game. As that really should be it. They're going to try and hold on. I'm not sure what they can do with just the Shaman. Samael's just chilling in the fountain right now, wondering the same thing. They are going to allow the Ancient to go down. In fact, now they call the GG. As Samael's just going to get dived in the fountain. Fnatic will force the GG out of them. And that is a really nice series between these two, I've got to say. It was definitely a lot closer than you would have expected, but Fnatic do manage to take out the 2-0 victory over Vice Esports.
Yeah, and that's a really important set of wins for Fnatic, of course, allows them to drag their way up in the upper bracket a little bit more and just adjust their placing there. Vice, unfortunately, are going to be stuck where they are. We'll have to see if the rest of the games left in groups will adjust them upwards, but that was a close one, right? There were moments in this match particularly where Vice looked like they were bouncing back in. Palas held on. He had a lot of farm. They were finding certain angles into Fnatic that was catching Fnatic off guard. In the end, they couldn't overcome it. They were at a huge net worth deficit. It was all riding on Palas. They really needed to get some soulbind combinations off, but towards the end, they had to take any opportunity they could get, and it wasn't clean. Fnatic did hold out, and Jabs finally nets a win on his techies here.
Congratulations to Jabs for that. With that, of course, John, we are going to move on to our next series, but I just wanted to quickly say props to Fnatic. Their new roster looks fantastic. I love how they're coordinating today. Props to Vice Esports as well. I briefly mentioned it yesterday, but they did end up making a Twitter page, and quite frankly, John, I think they've got some talent there as well. So if you did want to follow Vice Esports on Twitter, it's Vice Esports PH. Of course, I'm sure they have a Facebook as well, which would be the exact same thing. With that, however, that's going to be it for the first series. It's MLP Dota and johnxfire. We'll be back in 10 minutes for our second series of the day, between, of course, the side of T1 and Execration. See you then.